Greetings. My name is Reagan Reed, and this is my lesson plan project for ITEC 7430. To start, my project is hosted on my class website under the virtual learning assignment page. And this kind of gives my students the autonomy to work on the assignment in class or at home. It's 12 steps that are broken down in over 6 days. I start off by giving them the name of the project, which is Through My Eyes, and the materials that they'll need: a Chromebook, internet access, and of course the skill set that they've acquired over the semester. Step one, the students have to complete an online journal. It's Reflection 83, which tells them or asks them to kind of think about the authors or historical figures that we've learned about this academic school year and select one to do a project on. And for those who need a refresher, I provide them with the class reading list, which gives them all the short stories and novels and poems and articles and speeches that we've read, and the historical individuals like Martin Luther King and Robert Smalls that we also discussed. And step two, after they've selected the person, they're going to create a KWO chart in Word or Google Docs, and they're going to tell me what they know and what they want to know. Next, I kind of give them a little more information about the assignment. They have to create a chronological timeline of their subject's life, and I want them to start with the birth, of course, and then end either with the present or death. Some things they can include in their timeline or information about their early or personal family life, their education, the important events or influential factors that contribute to the success, and of course, their present life or death and the legacy they left behind if that's applicable. I clarified the objective of the assignment, which is to present the individual through their eyes. And we talk about how they're going to do that. How are you going to present this person? So I took a class poll and I allowed the students to tell me their top three favorite presentation softwares. And they chose Google Tour Builder, um, Adobe Spark, and Sway. And for each one is Adobe Spark. I gave them a rubric to break down the scoring criteria. And here's the one on Sway. After that, I showed them a couple sample projects using each presentation software. So for Adobe Spark, here's a video I created on Dr. Martin Luther King. And here's the one on Jackie Robinson. And this is through Google Tour Builder. And then there's a Sway on Raw Doll. And it pretty much covers the same information I discussed: early life, school life, things he did before writing, his influences, his impact on the world, and then his death, followed by a works cited page. Now that the students have selected their subject and their tool, they basically go to the class Google document and they input their information. And I've blackened out their names, but you can kind of see them given a product description and then a link to their presentations here. After that, I give them a couple days to do research in class. That's 2 full days. And I want them to create a rough draft of their project. And after they create a rough draft, I want them to create a poll. And this poll is basically for their peers to give them feedback. And so there are 6 questions, and each question basically asks the students, according to the project's rubric, like how would you score your classmates' presentation, or the accuracy of their information, or their organization of their presentation, or the writing conventions they use, or the sources, and then basically explain why you gave them that score. And so each student will create this poll and they'll list the link, and each student has already been formed or placed in a group, a peer group, and so they'll complete an evaluation on everybody in their peer group. And of course, the students get real fancy with this. We've done this a couple of times. They like to add pictures and, you know, thematic, frames and thank you message at the end, and all the good stuff. So basically, for those who need a reminder, here's a screenshot of what I'm expecting from their peer evaluation. Once they've kind of completed their peer evaluations, they go to reflection number 84, which basically says, well, how do you feel about the peer evaluation? Are you going to make any changes or revisions? After that, the students are basically, free to make any revisions to the project. And I tell them on the next school day, day 6, we are going to ask for student volunteers. Before we have the students to volunteer and kind of do the presentations, I ask the students to fill out the last section of their KWO chart, which basically asks them what they learned from it. And when they tell me what they learned from this assignment, I also ask them to complete a project poll, which basically tells me like, hey, what did I do well with this assignment? What could I do better? What changes could I make the next time I teach it? And I always thank them for their honest feedback. And this is an example of what the project poll looks like. And the kids just kind of give me feedback on how I did on the project, what they liked about the assignment, what they didn't like, what they learned. If they have, they can tell me unanswered questions they have, if they found the lesson meaningful, and how I can improve it. And then the last step is for the students to basically take advantage of an extra credit opportunity. If they want to, they can complete a second project on their selected person's spouse, significant other, or kids. And there's also a collaborative feature there. If they want to work together, they have to do like the entire family, which is like the husband, wife, and or kids. And they use the same rubric for that. And that's pretty much it. That's my project in a nutshell. Thank you.